Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Stephen Lindner, and I just wanted to share some information with you all about myself and some of my interests. So I live in Nassau County, Long Island, in New York, and I have three great kids and a wonderful wife and a fantastic little doggie named Sophie. She's a great Labradoodle. She'll be 14. I have a 10-year-old boy, a 7-year-old girl, and a 4-year-old boy. And life is interesting and fun and exciting. So my initial training is as a doctor of chiropractic, and I've been in solo practice for over 23 years. And I have a master's degree in clinical nutrition. And I've been teaching for over 22 years. I teach at Nassau Community College as an adjunct professor, teaching anatomy and physiology. I also teach at Adelphi University, which is in Garden City, Long Island, for their biology department, teaching anatomy and physiology, both lecture and lab. And I teach for the University of Bridgeport for their master's degree program in human nutrition. And I teach anatomy and physiology for the nutritionist, pathophysiology. I teach vitamins and minerals, and I teach a course called the Virtual Clinic. And the Virtual Clinic is a real interesting course. I was involved in designing the course. It's the world's first virtual clinic where nutritionists, prior to graduation, they have all this academic information and they take a competency exam at the end, and that's fantastic. But if they can't actually apply all the information they learned practically to an individual, what good is it? So in medical school and in chiropractic school and acupuncture school, massage school, dental school, even if you're a hairstylist or for a beauty salon, they all have hands-on experience. And there's no nutrition program that actually has that. So we created our own virtual clinic where they get to process a client or a patient, and they do all the anthropometric measurements, and they do, height, weight, BMI and BIA, and they look at all their blood results and their blood chemistry, and they do a nutritional physical assessment on them. They gather it, and then they come up with some treatment program and protocol for that individual that includes not only nutritional advice and lifestyle advice and nutraceuticals. So it's a great course. So some of my interests that I'm hoping maybe, someone hears this and we can coil and intertwine some ideas. As a doctor of chiropractic, I'm really interested in structure and function and how human movement helps to drive the brain and drive the neurology, and how healthy movement stimulates good, healthy growth, and how faulty movement, not only in the spine, but throughout any part of the musculoskeletal system, how that all of that sensory input goes to the brain and kind of distorts things, and the processing up in the brain becomes distorted, which means that now the outgoing information, not only to muscles and joints, but also to internal organs, that now the outgoing information becomes distorted to them. So how does that throw off natural anatomy and physiology and create these pathological states? So that's one area of interest, but I also like the connection between the brain and the gut, and how when the microbiome becomes distorted, how it starts to create distortions up in the brain with neurotransmitters and the way people think, but also how distortions in here can throw off the microbiome as well, this two-way street. And how food can be used to kind of throw it off based on the standard American diet, and how foods can be used to modify and change that environment within the gut. And another area of interest I have is in glyphosates, which is found in Roundup, weed control, and how it ends up being in so many food sources, and how it creates this chelation effect to our system, and how when it starts to bind to minerals like calcium and manganese and magnesium and iron, and then vitamins, folate and B12, how it starts to throw off a lot of metabolic pathways in the body. So I have a lot of interest at looking at that, and then how we could be more proactive in dealing with these things. Not always reactive, but how do we prepare the individual to handle all of these environmental irritants that are bombarding the body. So those are my areas of interest. I hope some of you find them interesting, and maybe it sparks some really neat ideas, and we can coil and intertwine our ideas and work together and expose our students to some of these ideas. All right, so looking forward to hearing about you all, learning a little bit more about your courses and your interests, and getting connected. Bye now.